My Spider-Man talk continues with my top 10 Spider-Man villains. Now, I think a lot of other people, if they're going to do like Spider-Man villain rankings, would probably be doing rankings for the villains inside of the movies. But I thought maybe I'll do that sometime, like maybe when the next Spider-Man movie releases. But I wanted to do my top 10 Spider-Man villains with one honorable mention. So let's just get into it. My honorable mention is Taskmaster. And the reason he's in an honorable mention is because though he does, like, he is a Spider-Man villain at times, like, he's in Ultimate Spider-Man, he's in Insomniac Spider-Man, and he's fought with Spider-Man a couple of times. I wouldn't say he's necessarily, like, a Spider-Man villain. And there is one other person on here that isn't necessarily, like, a Spider-Man villain, but, like, Taskmaster feels like he's more of, like, a Marvel villain in general, where, like, he'll show up, he'll fight the Avengers, he'll fight Captain America, he'll get Spider-Man, in the movies, she'll get Black Widow, and then get shot by Ghost. But, like, I think Taskmaster is just a really fun character, like in Insomniac game, like, in the first one, like, he shows up here and there, and then you get to fight him once or twice, and if you lose, he's gone. If you beat him, then he's captured. I was able to beat him, which was really fun. But, like, I really like him in that. He's in Ultimate Spider-Man, where he's kind of fun. And then, like, just the character in general, I really like. But he's not exactly, like, a Spider-Man villain. So I wanted to just mention him. Number 10, there's going to be ones that are left out, and people will be mad. But at number 10 is Shocker. He's not, like, the best villain. There was a couple others that I was kind of debating. But I think Shocker beats them here. Just because I do like his relationship with Spider-Man, where, like, in a comic, Spider-Man is just, like, I like him because he's not out to hurt people, he's just out to get money, and he's not hurting people when he gets captured. He's not, like, a big D-bag about it. He's just like, you know what, I'll get you next time, and there will be next time. And Spider-Man, like, thinks that he can be rehabilitated. And I just like that. The reason he's low, and the reason that there were a couple others that I might have put above him, is because he hasn't had, like, a bunch of, like, great versions. Like, I forgot the word, which I should know, but, like, in the MCU, like, he's fine, but he's in Homecoming for a little bit. In Spectacular Spider-Man, I think that's one of the very, very few mishandlings in the show where it's Fancy Dan as Shocker and not Herman Schultz. I think he's great in the Insomniac games. He's fine in the 90s show. It's just, like, that show isn't my favorite. But, like, I just like the character of Shocker. But, like, there's other one. Like, this one, I would say, is one that you could switch, like, some other characters for. Like, Shocker could be switched with Scorpion, Boomerang, even, like, I mean, Tombstone, I guess, to some degree. Probably not Tombstone. Well, Tombstone a little bit, yeah. I was thinking Hammerhead. Tombstone, like, Tombstone, Scorpion, Boomerang, and then Mysterio. Like, that gives away some that won't be on this list. But, like, I just picked Shocker out of all those, but honestly, like, Scorpion could be in this place. Tombstone could be Boomerang. Mysterio. Like, number 10 is the one that I had kind of, like, issues with who I was going to put there. But for now, I'm going with Shocker. Number 9 is Electro. I just think he's a fun villain and, like, an iconic villain. He might, like, I think he's great in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Sue me. I think he's great in Spectacular Spider-Man. In No Way Home. Obviously, it's Jamie Foxx returning, but I thought he was really good in that. He's not my favorite in the 90s Spider-Man, just because he's, like, a Nazi in that one instead of, like, just a guy who steals money. But, like, I've always thought that the Electro character might not be, like, the deepest villain, but he's just a fun villain with, like, electricity, and I just like that. I don't really have, like, a bunch to say. I think that he's a really fun villain, and, he's number 9. Number 8 is the Lizard. I really like the Lizard. And I think that like just seeing Kurt Connor struggle with like the Lizard is like really cool. Like in Spectacular Spider-Man, I'm gonna keep mentioning that show, but that's because that show is great. He's really good in that. Obviously, The Amazing Spider-Man, I like that version a lot. No Way Home, same one. He's fine in the 90s cartoon, even though I think he's only in one episode. I can't remember. He might be in a couple different episodes, but yeah, he opens the show. That's what I remember. But like I really like the Lizard, and just like Kurt Connor's really like in Lego Marvel Superheroes. Like I know that's like not like the like best game ever, even though it's like a really good game, and I think that even for a Lego game, it gives really good versions of the character. Lizard is like a side mission, and that mission is just really fun, where you're Spider-Man in the Thing, and you're trying to take Lizard down. In Spider-Man 2, Insomniac Spider-Man 2, he's really good in that. I forgot to mention Electro, same thing in the Insomniac game, he's really good. And yeah, I just really like Lizard and his fight that he has all the time, like with Kurt Connors and the Lizard. Number 7 is the other one where I was like, is this like necessarily a Spider-Man villain? I don't know, but close enough. Kingpin. Now, he debuted in Spider-Man comics. He was the like big bad guy in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. But obviously, like a lot of people, when you say Kingpin, most people will think Daredevil. It's like, oh, it's Daredevil's villain. But he's also like a Spider-Man villain, so I decided to put him in this. Obviously, he's great with Daredevil, like Daredevil, the show with Charlie Cox, which is going on the 6th season next year, already 5 seasons. He's a big player in that show, and I think he's fantastic in that show. He was fine in the 90s one. He's great in Lego Marvel Superheroes. He is barely, but he's in the first Insomniac Spider-Man. Barely, but he's in it. And like his relationship with Daredevil, I think, is really good in like comics and the show. I just think Wilson Fisk is a really fun and like really good character. I really like him, and he's one of my favorite like Spider-Man villains. He's one of my favorite Daredevil villains. He's not my favorite for both of them, but he's a really good villain that I like seeing for like the street side of the MCU, not like the multiversal or like the big. Since we're talking about this because Spider-Man Brand New Day, not because of like the big potato stuff, but the small potato stuff. And I think he's really good. Number 6 is gonna be one that a lot of people probably dislike as well. Venom. The reason Venom is at number 6 is because I do feel like he might not be the best villain just because he has become more of an anti-hero. But I still like him as like a villain and everything, where you get Spectacular Spider-Man, and in that he's a villain. You get the 90s cartoon where he's a villain. You get Insomniac, which isn't Eddie Brock, but it's a Venom, and I thought he was really cool. You get Tom Hardy's Venom, which isn't a villain, but I do like that version. Topher Grace's Venom isn't as bad as people say. I like the one in the 2017 version. I know people will not like that. But I obviously Venom is Venom. Like, everyone loves him. He's a really good character. Eddie Brock is him. Flash Thompson is him at points. And Scorpion, Spider-Man obviously started out with the symbiote. Like, I really like the character of Venom, and I think he's one of the best Spider-Man villains. He's just not my favorite just because of he's not like a villain per se. He's more of an anti-hero who has hatred for we're back with this. Sorry about that. I don't know why, but my phone for the last couple of times I've been doing like taping stuff has been kind of bad at it, but hopefully it gets better. And I don't have to deal with that. But as I was saying, Venom, I think he's a good like Spider-Man villain. It's just that like he isn't necessarily a villain anymore. So when I take that into account, it's like, okay, I like him as a villain, but he's more of an anti-hero now. He has had some good villain adaptations, as I said, but like as a whole, he's more of an anti-hero. At number 5 is Sandman. I just think that Flint Marko is a really good character where he's kind of like the Shocker to some extent, where he just wants money, he doesn't want to hurt anyone. But I feel like even better because he's actually been able to like move on from being a criminal. Like in the comics, like he became an Avenger at one point. Spider-Man 3 with Thomas Hayden Church. He, in that, kind of turns a new leaf at the end. Spectacular Spider-Man. I just really like Sandman as a character. I think that his powers are really cool. And, like, him being a villain that is able to change, I think is just really good. It's not like you can talk about him that much, or he has, like, the best stories or anything. Like, Venom is a better character, but as villains, Sandman, I think, is a better villain because you see him being able to change. And it's like, I guess that sounds a little bit weird, but it's like Venom is now an anti-hero. Like, he never really was a bad guy. He never really wanted to. There's adaptions where he is, but, like, the character only really ever went after Spider-Man. Whereas Sandman was a bad guy. Like, he was stealing and all that. But, like, you see him be able to change, and he's not actually, like, a bad guy. Like, I just really like that. But you're not able to, like, talk about him for that long. This next one will probably get some people mad. Number 4 is Green Goblin. I love his character. Like, I think he's great. Like, Willem Dafoe's version is really good. Spectacular Spider-Man is really good. The one in Into the Spider-Verse sucks. Like, a good couple things in that movie. The one from the 90s is pretty good. 2017, I don't remember, but I think that one was fine. Ultimate Spider-Man was fine. And so far, even though he's not Green Goblin yet, the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Green Goblin is fine so far as well. Obviously, he is the most iconic Spider-Man villain. But, like, there's just, like, the ones above him, there's reasons I like them more. But it's, like, I think Norman Osborn's really good. I think that Green Goblin, like, as a character is really good. Obviously, in the comics now, it's kind of odd because he's, like, a good guy, but I don't know how long that's going to last. And, like, obviously, he's, like, the Joker to Spider-Man, but it's just, like, there's 3 others that I think are better than him. And I just think that's because Green Goblin, when you get down to it, is a character that is evil. But, like, the ones above him, like, there's a couple of them that are, like, just pure evil. They're more fun about it, and it's like Green Goblin, like, there's, like, there's Norman Osborn, and there's Green Goblin. Norman Osborn is sleazy and, like, a bad businessman, but he's not, like, the worst guy, at least in some of the iterations. Whereas, like, number 2, we'll get to him, is just pure evil. Number 3 is Hobgoblin. The only reason I have him above Green Goblin is that I don't know why, but I've always just liked him a little bit more. Like, I think he looks cooler. Like, I think the orange and gray looks a little bit better than green and purple. He's got a cape. I never really care about the identity because it's like, obviously Green Goblin is Norman Osborn, but it's like Hobgoblin is like, yeah, Roger Kingsley, but like Ned Leeds has been him for a little bit, kind of. And then there's like a couple other people who've taken up the mantle. So it's like Hobgoblin to me is more the mantle than the person, whereas Green Goblin, it's like the person. Sandman is the person. Venom is Eddie Brock. Like, no one ever talks about anyone else, really. Kingpin is Fisk. Lizard is this. Electro is this. Shocker. Doc Ock, who isn't on this list, even though I do like him as a villain. Doc Ock is Otto Octavius. Hobgoblin, to me, is the mantle. It's Hobgoblin. It's not Roger Kingsley. It's Hobgoblin. And I just have always found him cool. And anytime he shows up, it's just, like, fun. Like, the 2017 one isn't technically Hobgoblin because it's Harry Osborn. Unless I'm forgetting an arc in that. I haven't watched that one in a while, even though I do like that show. But, like, Hobgoblin, I just have always liked a lot more than Green Goblin. And he's just a fun character to me. And I like seeing him whenever he shows up. Number 2 is Carnage. This is the one I was talking about where he is evil, but he's pure evil. Like, there's nothing good inside him. Cletus Cassidy is just a serial killer. The Carnage symbiote is just a symbiote that is bad, and together they make Carnage. I've always liked it, though. Like, I think that Carnage is just a great character. And how he's just insanity incarnate, basically. Like, there's nothing good about him. And, like, he's powerful. Like, it takes Spider-Man and Venom to take him down and everything. Like, I think it's really cool. We haven't had a bunch of adaptations of him because it's Carnage. And the adaptations that we do get haven't always been my favorite. Like, the 90s version isn't my favorite. I think he might have showed up in Ultimate Spider-Man, but I don't remember that. I do like the one in Venom, Let There Be Carnage, played by Woody Harrelson, even though, like, obviously that's not as Carnage as he should be. Like, he should be rated R, but, like, even in that, I think that Woody Harrelson is great as him, and I like that version of Carnage. And just Carnage as a character is just really fun, and is my second favorite Spider-Man villain. I just really, really love that character. He's not this overly complicated one, like, he's like Sandman, where it's like there's not much to talk about, but you just love the character that it is. Sandman is this character that can be redeemed. Carnage is one that will never be redeemed at all. Unless, of course, the writers choose to do it, because, I mean, they did it with Norman Osborn. But, like, even then, like, Carnage, like, there's no way that he would ever be redeemed, because he is literally just, like, evil incarnate. But he is not my favorite Spider-Man villain. My favorite Spider-Man villain is J. Jonah Jameson. I think he's a great villain. He's fantastic. Daily Bugle, J.K. Simmons is amazing as him. All the different... I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I had to. My actual favorite villain of Spider-Man is Mr. Negative. I just love this character. I first got introduced to him through the 2018 game, which I think is when a lot of people got introduced to him. I just saw that game. He was in it, and I was just like, man, that's great. And then he's in the 2017 show. I'm almost 100% sure he's in that. He obviously, I don't think he's been adapted again. Like, those are his 2 adaptions. But, like, I've read comics with him, and he's, like, really fun in that. And obviously, like, the Insomniac version is just great. But I really love the aspect where it's, like, Martin Lee is, like, this good man. And then Mr. Negative, like, is just this crime boss. Like, Martin Lee runs Feast and everything. And I almost kind of like the idea that it's kind of, like, 2 different personalities, but at the same time, it's, like, the same person. But it's kind of like Green Goblin, only done better. And I just... ever since I saw him in the Insomniac games, I just was like, yeah, I really like that character. And then he just kept moving up until now. I can firmly say he is my favorite Spider-Man villain. I hope he gets adapted one day. I would like him to be the villain in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 5 or 6, because I would like to see him with, like, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and not Miles Morales, because I do not like Miles Morales as a character. And I know a lot of people do, but I just do not like him at all. So, like, I would hope that if they do do an adaptation of him, I would hope that it would be with Peter. And, like, Feast has already been shown in the MCU, so there's a chance. But, like, I just really like Mr. Negative as a character, a villain, and just everything. And I would like to read even more comics with him. I would like to see more adaptations with him. and the adaptations that we have gotten are pretty good. Insomniac is a really good adaptation, and then I did like him in the 2017 show, even though he was, from my memory, not a big part of that. But he is my favorite Spider-Man villain, and I do not see that changing any day. But him and Carnage are, like, my two favorites, like, definitely. Like, those are, like, the solid placements. But that is my ranking of all 10 of my favorite Spider-Man villains. I will have a Spider-Man Brand New Day spoiler review. All the Spider-Man movies ranked. And then, I don't know if there's going to be any others, but I did come up with one other video idea, which I won't keep secret. Sometimes I like to keep it secret, just like a mystery, but, I mean, I'm going to be ranking the 7 fourth movies in superhero series. What's that mean? So Spider-Man Brand New Day is obviously the 4th Tom Holland movie. Then you've got stuff like X-Men Dark Phoenix, Thor Love and Thunder, Batman and Robin, Captain America Brave New World, Avengers Endgame, Superman The Quest for Peace. So, like, in superhero stuff, the 4th movie in said series, I want to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite, which I think is just kind of a cool video idea. And then if there's any other type of video I would think of, I'll make it. And then, yeah, that's just kind of what... That's what's coming up for Spider-Man, and then obviously, as I said, Batman, Cape Crusader, and then whatever is next. But thank you for watching. Tell me your top 10 Spider-Man villains, or if not, just your top 3. And I will see you for the next one, which I think will be my spoiler review. So I'll see you for that. And if it's not that, then it'll be something. So see you in that one.